So welcome to the OB Networking Group Zoom call. And today is Tuesday, July the 28th. And so we're talking, Mercy Barron is going to be leading a conversation on selling with Macari. And so the icebreaker question today is, have you ever sold anything online? And if you did, how did it go? Now, I do want to remind folks a couple things. One, best practice when you're not talking is to mute your microphone just to cut down on some of the background noise. And then secondly, if you could limit your answer to 60 seconds, that would be appreciated. And in the icebreaker, of course, we want to know what's motivating you to network. So tell us your name and why you're networking, and answer the icebreaker. Have you ever sold anything online? And if you did, how did it go? So having said all that, do I have any volunteers to go first?
I'll go first.
Thank you, Craig.
Yeah, well, we sell, well, it's not 2 million items, it's $2 million. But yeah, I started out as a bookseller on Amazon and did about $500,000 there, did $500,000 on eBay. But they're bottlenecks, so we went to the auction format. And it's just, you know, it's intense pressure. It's like a grape. They squeeze your head like a grape. And so we're doing a lot now because we're dealing with the downsides of businesses and the fall of Western civilization. The GDP numbers are coming out, and a third of our economy is gone. So it's bad. It's bad. It's very bad. And that's my share.
I forgot to unmute. Thank you, Craig. And so sorry, I'm being distracted by someone having trouble logging in. So I will get back to that shortly. Would anyone else like to go next? Dahlia, thank you so much.
Sure. Hi, everybody. This is Thalia. I do web design, graphic design. I'll pop my stuff into the chat after I answer the question. I've actually, over the years, sold quite a bit online, but it's all been just kind of personal stuff. Like, for example, when moving houses, and I used to use Craigslist quite a bit. Then I graduated to Facebook Marketplace and Let Go and Nextdoor. And I found that in a way, like Facebook Marketplace, surprisingly, was the easiest for me. And in it, I like the addition of kind of knowing who I'm buying from. And part of what I do for a living, I also help people set up shops and do image editing and things like that. And I recently got exposed to one called Big Cartel. Mercy, I don't know if you've heard of Big Cartel, but that's a new place where you can have an online store. And so I'm trying to get to know all of the different ones. You know, there's Shopify, Squarespace, and now Big Cartel. And I'm curious about Mercari because I haven't used it myself, and I'd be curious about, you know, buying and selling and setting up a shop on there. And there's my stuff.
All right, thank you so much. Good job. And so I'll go ahead and call on Kerry because he has his hand up.
Hi, you guys. I'll get this out of the way. So I am a OC native now, but can't wait to get back down to OB. I keep the initials either OB or OC as the ongoing address. You know, what the heck? No. I teach hand drumming online. I do community drum circles. And as I mentioned in the chat, I'm a proud rep for Purium Superfoods. They've been around 25 years. It's no joke. We need to boost our immune system, but they have about 60 products, and they are a very progressive and successful company based in Long Beach. So you can learn more about them at the ishoppurium.com address. As far as selling online, well, I actually do sell Purium stuff online through an affiliate, program they have, and that's nice. But I've sold a lot of little miscellaneous things on Let Go and OfferUp. I've tried Facebook Marketplace, but haven't had much success. I have a whole bunch of photography I'd like to sell, photographs and fine art, and and I sell some instruments as well, percussion instruments. I distribute my own handmade shakers, which are pretty successful, but now the market's died, as was mentioned. And I sell wood frogs from Thailand, all sorts of fun percussion toys. But I appreciate the opportunity to be here, and I appreciate you, Chuck, for doing this.
It's my pleasure, and I see Cynthia and Dan have both logged in, and I don't know if you guys heard the icebreaker question, but today's icebreaker is, have you ever sold anything online? And if you did, how did it go? So Gareth, Cynthia, would you like to go? Oops, you might be on mute. Let me see if I can unmute you.
I unmuted.
Oh, there you go.
I'm Cynthia with 4 different businesses. I Universal Designer Tastes. I do flooring design, and I write. I don't know how long I'll be on this meeting because I'm waiting for a call back, but I figured I'd come in and say hi, and thanks, Chuck, for introducing me to a lot of people with this. Selling stuff online, I've done it in all kinds of ways, and that's how I end up doing what I'm doing. I had worked for a Persian rug company, and we used to sell from our website occasionally. I sold things across the country and shipped them, insured them, all that kind of thing. Personally, I love OfferUp. When I moved from Coronado, I've been in Coronado 10 years, so imagine the kind of junk I had. And I moved to a furnished studio. So I had to get rid of about 90%, and I got rid of almost all of it on OfferUp. Haven't had much success on eBay. Craigslist, I've bought things from, but I don't know. I think it's just kind of, it's maybe fine arts are pretty good. Actually, I help people with that. That's my kind of hobby thing. I do like art stuff. So I'm going to look at someone's artwork tomorrow, and so if anybody knows anything about Mexican flags from the revolution from France, I have a piece that I've been trying to find someone like a second opinion on, and it's been like 2 weeks now, and I still haven't. I'm out to the museums in Washington, D.C., so I'm trying to find an expert. So if you know of anybody, let me know. And I network because all my work takes networking. And this morning I went out to measure someone's house for wood. I was talking to someone about their carpet install. I'm talking right now as we're talking to one of our content writers who is in France currently. And I'm talking to you guys. So the network space is where I'm at. Thank you.
Awesome job. I love your energy. And let's see, Matt, would you like to go next?
Yeah, sure. I'm Matt Gismondi, a local realtor, Point Loma Ocean Beach, but I can pretty much buy and sell anywhere. I have not done much in online sales at all. I think I sold a pickup truck on Craigslist probably about 10 years ago or more. And, just a lot of people calling and not coming out. I usually run things till they're gone. And a lot of times Goodwill doesn't even take them. I'll give them to a friend or what have you. It's hardly worth the trouble to sell anything, really. So I'm not the one to talk to.
All right. I kind of agree with what you were saying about Craigslist, but Terry, would you like to go next?
So years ago, I attempted to sell some of my crafts and jewelry that I made on Etsy, and I think the only thing I sold was a bag of fabric scraps for quilting for $2. But I'm a writer, as you all know, and offer other services. And so, I post my services online. I've sold a few of my books at Smashwords, but I have a publisher, so that was just like an experiment, and I only sold a few, and I just leave it up there and occasionally gift them. But I deal solely online with the indie press and as an editor, and so I sell my work, my poetry, my fiction, my novels online, but through the auspices of my publisher. So I'm not really the best person to talk about either, because I attempted to sell some odds and ends I ended up giving away on eBay once, but it wasn't, it was a hassle, and I'm not good with mailing. I'm the one that freaks out about, is there enough tape and you know. So yeah, I'm not really into that. I donate a lot of stuff or trade with people or give it away. So, and I don't really have a product other than my writing.
All right. Let's see. Lenora, I can't see if you're there, but if you are, would you like to share?
Yeah, I'm Lenora. I'm your local realtor and marketing professional. If you want more information on what's going on in the market, you can check it out at my website, llsalessd.com. And I've done a ton of online selling of stuff. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Mm-hmm. And I think that's super true on Craigslist. And I really like OfferUp too. It's just easy. I feel like Craigslist was the old OfferUp, and now it's kind of just a little bit antiquated. But when I sell stuff, I put it on everything. And I've had some success on Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, and still Craigslist. So it's kind of just like marketing. The more places you get it, the better chance you're going to have. And in lieu of real estate, that's kind of turning into a little bit of online sales where in lieu of COVID, are doing a lot of like virtual tours instead of in-person tours. Open houses aren't a thing anymore. So like video walkthroughs and stuff. So part of real estate has become kind of online sales. So I'm sure all you guys know about Zillow and realtor.com and stuff like that. And that's where 90+% of all the house shopping starts anyway. So online sales is a big thing. And that's all I have to say. Happy to be here. Sorry having video issues today, but I'm sure most of you guys know my face and you will see it for sure next week.
I muted instead of unmuted. So Garrison, would you like to share?
Sure. So I'm Garrison. My company's Apex Typing Graphics. I'm a graphic designer, mostly on the print side of things, but I do some web stuff as well. Love logos and corporate identities. That's probably one of my favorite things to do. What makes me unique and different is my background in psychology, not art. So I've taught myself art, but I use my psych background to ask a lot of great questions that some people are baffled that I'm asking, that suddenly make sense once they see the final product. And they're like, how did you know? And I said, it's the best way I can be a mind reader. Regarding the question, I would say I'm like the little grasshopper at that. I've probably sold 3 or 5 things on OfferUp or whatever. I buy more, but when the topic was looking at my room and house and the hoarder that I feel sometimes and thinking, gosh, let's turn this into something else, you know, as in dollars in my pocket, I'm like, I'm all in. Let's do this and see how we can do. So I'm excited to learn.
Great answers, and I apologize for the jet noise, but you guys know what Ocean Beach is like. And so Dan Dennison, would you like to share next?
Sure. Good morning. I really enjoy this networking meetings, and I just wanted to reflect. Last week we talked about the finding 30-minute events that are kind of happy times that help us through this tough time, and this is one of those 30-minute events that I really enjoy. I have done online sales primarily of cars, and then also OfferUp is a good one. I agree with, I have a lot of reservations about Craigslist. Also on Nextdoor, that's a good place to, when you have things that you want to give away. And then of course, I'm in real estate, so you're constantly using online media and marketing. So that's an important thing to know how to do.
Outstanding. And I think the only people that haven't shared are myself and Mercy. Did I skip anyone other than Mercy or myself? Okay, so my name again is Chuck. I think you guys all know me. And I help small businesses with web marketing. And I did have an experience selling an old pickup truck on Craigslist, and it was a complete nightmare. All the people that said, yeah, I'm going to come, I want to get it, and then they never show up. But what I have had some success with is helping clients get their online stores running. I use a WordPress plugin called Equid, and I'm able to get that configured to accept credit cards. So that's something that I've enjoyed working on. And so without much further ado, I'm going to introduce Mercy, and she's going to lead. This is going to be more of a discussion on selling online than a lecture. So I feel like it's going to be very interactive. So I'm thinking Mercy's going to encourage a lot of questions and things like that. So now I did set, in the interest of time, I did set an alarm on my phone for 12:55. So if we get to 12:55, I'll interrupt and let Mercy kind of wrap it up. It doesn't necessarily have to go that long, but we do want to be respectful that people have other meetings and so forth. So without any further ado, let's turn it over to Mercy and have a good conversation about selling things online.
Cool. All right. Hey, everybody. I'm going to put, once again, my Macari store in the chat here. You can even go take a look at it if you want while we're talking. And that's why I wanted to make it more of a discussion. At any point you don't understand something or you have a question, just go, hey, can I ask you this, whatever. Because I just think it's more fun to be interactive and learning that way. So I guess I could do the icebreaker question because it is kind of funny what I went through. Before I even got on Macari, I decided to sell something on eBay. And I don't know what I did wrong, but you know, you have to look things up and get comparable prices. And I knew this thing was it was selling on a website. It was a custom made thing for $90. I could swear that I put, you know, buy it now. There was not even an auction put up, you know, because you have those two options on eBay. And all of a sudden I finally got a sale and it was $30. I'm like, what? Because it was 90. So I screwed that up. I don't know how. That was my experience. And it was just as I was putting this store together. And the reason why I think selling online is so cool, I know people who work full time and do this. I know people who just want some extra change and they do this. I have not really put in 8-hour days, okay? And so I haven't put all of myself into it because, hey, I'm at that age where you're supposed to retire and whatever, and I didn't really want to do a whole lot. I am kind of lazy too. But I'm averaging $500 to $700 a month. And for me, being like a retired person, it's some nice change in my pocket. It really is. And I love doing it. So that helps. So when people go, oh, I don't have the time to do that, I have talked to so many people who work full time or close to it, and they do this too because of the extra change. And I'm also assuming, maybe not in our group right here, I'm assuming a lot of people have lost their jobs. You know, I'm very involved in the food industry because I also have another website called Barron's Barbecue Beat. I'm a certified master barbecue judge, so I have that also. And it is amazing how many people have lost their jobs. So this is a great thing to encourage people to do. It doesn't have to be on Macari. Macari takes less from you than almost all the other groups. They only take 10%, and that's it. So, and you can ship things for free. You can ship things where you charge the buyer. There's a lot of little details to this that a lot of people don't think about, don't look up. And before I even started, and by the way, I started middle of January, just not too soon before we shut down. And I thought, oh God, did I start this at the wrong time? Because right off the bat, you don't usually really get sales. You learn, you're learning. I watch so many YouTube videos. And then there's one couple I follow, especially called Rally Roots. And this young couple, they're like 30, 31 years old. After 5 or 6 years of doing this, and they don't do Macari, they do eBay, they're making 6 figures a year. They now have their own warehouse, they hire several people, and they're really nice to listen to because some of the people on YouTube, oh my God, again, after a minute or two, I've had it, you know, I'm ready to find somebody else. But I really encourage people who think about getting into this, do your homework first. read everything on the Macari site, read all the rules and everything, watch as many YouTube videos as you can with the title of beginners, being a beginner in reselling. I've been a person most of my life who love vintage things. I was raised by parents who loved antiques. I still have some of their antiques. So I love that part of it. And going out to Goodwill and things like that, it's fun. You can find some really great things. And that's how a lot of people source. But to begin with, you declutter. It's all about decluttering your place. Don't we all have something in our house, our apartment? Oh my God, you want to get rid of it. It's just been sitting in a closet for years, whatever. That's how most people start on this. And then for some people, it becomes a business, which it kind of has for me. I know that if I put more hours into it, I would make more money. But it's also, it is time consuming. I don't know how there's a lot of Macari Facebook groups where you could talk to other people, and it's a lot of young kids too, and I'm amazed that they have families, little kids, work a job, and they do this too. But they have the energy, I guess, to do it, and the money they're making it's really incredible. You think you're doing okay sometimes, and then all of a sudden somebody will post how much they've made, and you see like $50,000. You're like, what? But okay, maybe it took them a year or two to make the 50,000, but these are the people that are really devoting time to it and see what it does. One thing I learned, which again, I didn't sell things right away. I was like, I'd already been online, and maybe I put 30, 40 items online. I thought, am I ever going to get a sale? And then you see in the groups, they say the way to make sales is to post items every single day. Because of course what that does is it brings your website to the top of the feed, and people, oh, what's that? Okay, let's go look at other things. So I thought for the longest time, I don't understand that. How does that work? But they're right. When I spend time posting probably 10 to 20 items a day, I'll usually get a few sales from that. Am I making a ton of money? No, I told you how much I make. But I'm enjoying doing it, and I don't like working for other people. I don't like going into a job every day. Having been an archaeologist most of my life, it's an unusual eclectic job and a profession, so I did that. I was a musician for many years. I did that. So I needed something that was just different, and that I could combine my love of selling vintage things. It's awesome, you know. But there is a big learning curve, especially with shipping. Shipping, it's like this big mystery to start with, even though I read so many things about it. And for the longest, the first few months, and like I said, I only started in January this year. My first sale was like end of January, and then everything shut down. But when everything shut down, I started making sales. Why? Because people couldn't go to the malls and go shopping, and so I was selling things. But I realized that to just keep it going, I had to learn a lot of things. I had to learn how to ship. And so again, for the first few months, I offered free shipping on all of my items. Well, after a few months, I didn't like that anymore. I could see that I was spending too much of my own money, even though I used a website called Pirate Ship, which is great to use instead of the post office and things like that. And you can, ship for a lot less money. You still had to figure out all of that. If you are offering free shipping, you have to build that into your price of your item that you're selling. And then sometimes that looks like too much to some people. Well, it was about 2 months ago that I finally just went, that's it. I'm not doing free shipping anymore. I mean, remember, I'm only selling small little items, not things that cost, thousands of dollars. So, and I do have kind of a rule for myself. When something is $100 or more, I give them free shipping, maybe even close to 100, because that just seems worth it to me. And you get them a little better with that. But the shipping learning curve is just, I can't begin to tell you how difficult it was for me, at least, to find the best way to ship, to find the most efficient way to ship, to not have the buyers spend too much money, not have me spend too much money. So that is something I had to watch a lot of videos for to really understand it, and going on the Facebook groups and asking a lot of questions. I didn't care how stupid I sounded. I would just say, I just don't understand this. How does it work? So that was a big learning curve. Then you also, when you do have items to sell, you want to be able to price them correctly, right? You don't want to cheat yourself. You don't want to cheat the buyer. You want it to be a good deal for both of you guys. So you have to look up everything. You have to research every item that you're selling and look for comps online. You'll usually do that on eBay, because eBay and Mercari are two of the, I believe, the only sites that you can look up sold items. It doesn't matter how much somebody wants to sell something for. That doesn't mean he's going to sell it for that. You have to look up the comps and what it is selling for. And you can do that on eBay and Mercari. The only problem with that is a lot of people don't know what they're doing, and I've found that they sell things for way too cheap. And you may think, what? Too expensive. Well, that's more on Etsy and things like that. I find things are very overpriced on Etsy and shouldn't be, but I find things are way too low on eBay. So you kind of got to figure it out what's going to sell. I have a lot of things. Like I said, I posted my, let's see, did I send that to you guys? There's my store again. So, and it's called Mercy's Magic Merch. And you can go look at it. You'll see, God, I sell everything from like a $6 pair of earrings to, I've got these Versace plates that are unbelievable. And they sell for about $250 a plate, but I'm selling them for $175. I got 6 of them. So, I'm hoping somebody will want to buy the whole lot. There's so many different things and ways to do things. So, that's pretty much what I'm doing, but the photos also, not just the research. You got to take good photos. To tell you the truth, I can't even believe the things that do sell when I look on eBay, and they're blurry. You don't have to have this great camera. You just use it on your phone. And by the way, the Mercari is really a phone-based app. You can see it on your computer right now. It would be difficult, I think, to buy things. I don't know, because I do it all on my phone. And that's pretty much the way everybody does it. Unlike eBay, which you can do obviously on your phone and online stuff too. But the photos are important. The backgrounds are important. I'm sorry, your name again, from North County Auctions. What's your name again?
Greg Casey.
Greg. Yeah, I mean, Craig, I don't know what you go through selling really big items like you have, but you had to take
logistic.
It's a logistic thing?
Yeah, you need forklifts and cranes.
Oh, geez.
And, lowboys and trucks and muscle
Wow.
and pallet jacks. And, you need, especially if they're 5,000-pound mills. Yeah.
Yeah, you're dealing on a much bigger scale of things. And I'm not down with that. That's not my thing. And, I like the little stuff. And I just recently lucked into a really amazing deal. I was buying some vintage stuff from a lady here in Las Vegas. She has a little warehouse. And I went there to buy a couple things thinking, oh, I'll add these to my collections, things that I have. And after going there a few times, she said she had this dream about me. And her deceased husband was in the dream too. And he said to work with me. I didn't know what that meant to begin with, but she offered me this amazing deal. And her prices are incredible. I mean, just incredible. Because her husband had spent so many years buying lots of things. And by lots, you know what I mean, like 40 of this, 20 of that. And they were all vintage. And she said, I'm going to give you this deal. And I don't see how you could pass it up. But she said, I'm going to supply you with all your merchandise. You don't give me a penny to buy anything. But you do all the work. You do the research, take the photographs, and then when we sell things, we split it 50-50. And it has worked out really well. Since she gave me things, I'm selling a few $100s more per month than I was before, because she has so many cool things. I mean, I did start by decluttering my own house and doing those kind of things. Stephen and I, my boyfriend and I, are both collectors of things. We're really into a lot of, again, eclectic, weird things. He collects Hellboy stuff, and if you don't know what that is, it's a comic book. And man, we put some things like that on Mercari, and they sold like that, you know, a book that the guy signed who invented Hellboy, and that sold for $150 or something, and things like that. So he sold some of his collections. He had some Star Trek stuff that was really cool, and we sold that too, because again, we are also at that age where we're really not collecting that much anymore, because we found out that our kids don't want any of our shit when we go. Pardon my French. They just don't. You know, my son even said, Mom, I don't even want any of those antiques that Grandma and Grandpa left you. I don't want it, you know. But I also have a very expensive 1950s lucite purse collection that's displayed in my house, and it's gorgeous. And I can't even afford to collect them anymore. They've gotten so expensive. I'm hoping my granddaughter, who's only 5 now, will maybe want it when she's a little bit older. But so we kind of are getting rid of a lot of our little collections of things. We still have a lot of cool things that we'll keep for now. But it's a great way to do it, to start that way and to get rid of things. And you may think, oh God, nobody's going to want this. Not true. I mean, you can buy anything from like a feather duster on Macari to something really expensive that costs hundreds of dollars. And it's just a matter of what floats your boat, maybe something a necessity that you're really looking for. I have found on Facebook Marketplace, I hate Facebook Marketplace. I know some of you said you used it. People really want to lowball you on there. And it's not even so much that. They do that on Macari too, believe me, because when they look at an item, and hopefully you'll take a quick look and see, you could say make offer, 10% off, 15% off, 20% off. A lot of them don't do it, which is great for me, but a lot of them do. So you've got to deal with that. But in Facebook Marketplace, I find people they don't show up. They say, oh my God, I love this pair of shoes you're selling. I want that. I'm like, all right, I'm not giving you my address until you say you're on your way over. And generally, I try not to even have them at the house. So I'll meet somewhere neutral, especially if it's a guy, sorry. But you know, I just want to be safe with that. So I haven't really dealt with a lot of the other things. I think I sold a boogie board once on Let Go. That took a while to sell. And that's the thing, is things can really sit in your store for a long time. The more you post, the more, like I said, it moves up in the feed. And it doesn't really do any good that I've found to post my URL, you know, to my page, because you can't even go there and find Mercy's Magic Merch, even though that's the name of it. You can't get there like that. It's very strange. So somebody who's already a seller on there has to send you a link to it. But I've posted it at other places. I don't think it really brings any sales. Macari has been around since 2014. Obviously not a really long time, not like eBay and things like that. It's based in Japan. They obviously came to America quite a few years ago. And it's growing by leaps and bounds. You do see commercials for it quite a bit. And they're trying to promote it too. But it just depends, again, how much time you want to put into it. And some days I'm so into so many things that I you know, to sell, and I'm researching it. And sometimes like she gave me, my partner gave me, oh my God, hundreds of salt and pepper shakers. Vintage. They're all vintage from the 40s, 50s, like that. And you really do want to look them up, because again, you want to sell it for the right price. And all of a sudden I'll find myself, I've spent way too much time looking up one salt and pepper shaker. So I have to kind of move myself along a little bit too. But all of a sudden I'll realize 12 hours have gone by. Okay, maybe not 12, 8 or 10 hours. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm still doing this, but I've enjoyed it. The shutdown because of COVID was not a really big deal for my boyfriend and I. He's a working children's book illustrator. Not just children's book, but mostly. He's very well known in that world. And, you know, the shutdown wasn't a big deal for us because we were already working from home. So it was a kind of an easy transition. But it's weird in so many other ways that we don't have to get into. You know, so that's pretty much what's going on. I'm looking at my notes a little bit, just seeing if there's, you know, anything else that's really important to tell you. Again, if you have any questions at this time, let me know. You do also need supplies to start with, obviously, especially if you're going to sell small things, not like cars, you know, like he was doing. and big things. So you have to invest in a little scale. You have to buy shipping equipment. I mean, not equipment, but merch, bags and padded mailers and tape and all this. You can get some things free on nextdoor.com when people are giving away boxes. But then again, depending on the size of the things you're selling, I still have to buy boxes that are like this size because salt and pepper shakers, I don't want to put them in a big box like that. And I'm very lucky that Stephen is an amazing packer. He packs all of my stuff. I have 100 and something reviews on there, and you'll see most of them say amazing packing, great packing, because things arrive broken all the time on, I'm sure not just Mercari, but a lot of the sites. And so you really, again, like eBay and a lot of those, I think you do reviews on eBay. I can't even remember right now. Somebody correct me if right? Thalia was shaking her, nodding her head. So yeah, you do, I guess, leave reviews. So it's really important on Mercari. You want your reviews to be good. I got so upset the first time I got a 4-star review instead of a 5-star. And I'm trying to remember the last one. I do have a few 4-star reviews, but you want those 5 stars. And one of them, you deal with people all the time that are such liars and scam artists. There's a lot of scam artists on these sites, and you hope it doesn't happen to you, but I read, again, I'm in the groups all the time, so you do see that kind of happening. But somebody had said, I sent her a 1950s beaded purse that she bought, and she said it was dirty on both sides. The title of that, even the ad, was pristine 1950s purse. So she's completely full of baloney. And usually at that point, they're asking for a refund. And then a lot of times they'll send you back the item, because Mercari will ask you, do you want the item back? And you'll say yes, and they send you something completely different. Yeah, it's a scam. So I know it's probably going to happen to me eventually. It hasn't happened yet. And the only thing that happened bad was one little tip of a ceramic top. And I mean, it was so small, broke off. And she wanted her money back, it was still presented lovely, but that's the way it goes. And you want to please your customers. I have several buyers who come back to me all the time and keep buying things. So you want your regulars and things like that too. And that's kind of pretty much it. I'm sure I'll think about 20 things I wished I'd said and didn't. But yeah, Chuck.
I'm curious about clothing and returns. I have a friend that used to sell clothing, and she's thinking about starting a business where she imports clothing from Bali or somewhere in Indonesia. And then someone else said to me, you're going to have a hard time with returns. Have you tried selling clothing, or what are your thoughts on that?
I do have clothing on my site. Doesn't sell very well for me at all because it's really not my main thing. And also I'm a plus size girl, so when I sell some of my own stuff, it's got to be another plus size girl. I'm not a 7'8" and things like that. But Mercari, one of their rules, and the buyers have to know this, is you cannot return something because it didn't fit you. So it kind of protects you a little bit. I don't know about on Poshmark. That's another very well-known app that a lot of people use, and mostly it's clothes. Not only, but mostly. Poshmark takes 20% from you, and you have to constantly push it and follow people so it goes up in the feed. It's a pain in the ass. And I joined, I did it for a very short time. I went, that's it, I'm done with Poshmark. But clothes sell like crazy for some people. I'll go on the groups and I'll see, oh my God, baby clothes are selling so well. So I immediately bought baby clothes at Goodwill. So I only pay a few dollars for it. And they didn't sell. I mean, maybe one piece sold. So I don't know. I think if you're only going to specialize in clothing, you might do well. But people go on my store and they see so many vintage little knickknacks and things like that. They don't think of me as a clothes seller. I heard board shorts were selling, so I bought like 15 pairs of board shorts at Goodwill. And you're paying almost nothing for them at Goodwill, although they've gotten hip to things, unfortunately, and it's not as cheap as it used to be. But I sold maybe one pair. So you read about things that you hope will sell, you try it, you experiment, it may not work, So yeah, there's that.
Chuck, I was going to say maybe I I've seen sometimes that people sell one size fit all, which certainly doesn't mean they fit all.
No, for a plus size girl, it certainly doesn't work.
Then you're kind of saying, you know, buy at your own risk. When I see one size fit all, I get really like, really? So Garrison has a question in the chat, and then I have a question about shipping. So, but Garrison, Mercy, are you able to see that?
I'm looking at the chat right now. Yeah, you could do video boxing as well as unboxing of any returns to check the label and it being sealed, all the way to you opening the package and documenting how it was packaged and returned. Garrison just hit on a very smart thing that a lot of the experienced sellers do. Exactly that. They videotape themselves putting, you know, boxing something and packaging it. And that's to avoid scammers. And that will usually happen to you after you've been scammed by somebody. Like, oh, God dang, from now on, I got to videotape myself doing it. And videotaping what you put in the box. I cannot believe how many people return things that have nothing to do with what you sold them. I mean, you know, again, people just live to scam. So there's that.
And it looks like Garrison had another question about, you mentioned to post every day so that it improves your ranking. Does it move your items up in ranking based on your name, company?
No, no, it's just people look at the items. Now, look, I give really good descriptions of things too on each item I sell. I've been told a lot of the buyers they don't even read it. They just see something they like in a picture, and you can post up to 12 pictures of each item. I don't. I do like four to 6 or 7 pictures, and they just see the picture. Oh yeah, I want that. I mean, I don't shop like that. I want every description. I want to see as many pictures as I can. So no, it's not based on the name of your company, but I've heard some sellers do put the name of their company in the description. I keep thinking I'm going to do that, and then I keep forgetting to do it. I still don't think that'll make a difference because on Mercari, again, you cannot find us by the name of our store. So there's that.
Okay, so now I have my question about shipping.
Sure.
Mercy, like you said, that's kind of the biggest, big question mark whenever I even considered selling on eBay or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I will give a local OB business a plug. The OB Business Center I've worked with recently because I've been buying a lot more online. Like before all this happened, I would never even consider buying a pair of shoes or item of clothing online. Like it wouldn't even cross my mind. But now I'm like, okay, I'll try it. So invariably when that happens, you got to return stuff. And so I've been using Amazon, you know, and that does make shipping stuff back easier. And I bring it to OB Business Center and on their desktop outside, and they take care of all the shipping magic, whatever it is. So Mercy, what did you finally figure out? Did you buy a scale, like so you could weigh stuff? Or how
at the very beginning, you cannot do this without a scale because, especially like I said, the first few months, I only did free shipping. So I was paying for, you know, so I have to look it all up first with their address to see how much it's going to cost. And invariably, the site I use, Pirate Ship, is a couple dollars cheaper than the post office or FedEx or UPS. So you just kind of learn it as you go along. But yes, you need all of those things. And I don't know if you've noticed how many outrageous shipping prices are on eBay items. Are you kidding me? I guess they can set it at whatever they want. But when I, again, now have the buyer pay for it, Mercari is pretty darn fair. It's just that, as we know, all the postage rates have gone up. It used to be you could ship a little thing for like $2.50. Now it's $3.50. As soon as something is a pound or over a pound, it goes from $4 or $5 to $11 or $12. So you got to find the best way to do it, and it's a little confusing for me to begin with. But again, I watch a lot of videos and try to learn how to do that, you know.
And do you have a printer where you like print out a label?
Yes, we buy I buy the labels on Mercari, not from Mercari, but from a seller on Mercari, and my boyfriend prints them all out. But I had to buy even not just padded mailers, I had to buy all the poly bags and all those kind of things. So there's an investment to start with, and a lot of kids, like I said, kids do it. And they have like no money to start with. They're like, how do I ship this? I don't even know how much it weighs. You don't have a scale? What? You know, and you could tell a lot of them, they don't read anything on the site, and they're always going on the groups asking everything. Sometimes I have to leave it because they drive me crazy. So, but you still learn.
And then Shaker Man has a question I can see. My other really quick question is, do you have to write this stuff off on your taxes?
I do. Yeah, I believe, what is it, if you make over $600 or something like that? Because I used to write for the San Diego Reader. So they'd pay me, I don't know, about $100, $125 a story. They don't pay that much anymore. But yeah, as soon as I hit $600, they had to send me, you know, a form and all that. So yes, next year I will be claiming all this. So we do keep records here. You can use spreadsheets, whatever. We keep really, you know, tight records on everything.
Okay, thanks.
Sure. Shaker Man?
Okay. Okay, so I use the post office a lot to ship my shakers, fitting them in the prepaid boxes. And one of the concepts I just realized is if you design your business model around inexpensive prepaid or not prepaid, but, you know, figured out box sizes, like the small, I think it's $7.35 or something for that little box that fits for me a couple of my shakers or something. So that if you're somebody who's just looking for the opportunity, maybe design your business around that kind of concept. As far as your pirate shipping, how much less are they than, let's say, the post office for like-sized box? And there's one other company that I've used in the past that I was trying to remember the name of, but there are some alternatives to US Mail and UPS and FedEx, so a little research might pay off. And this one other company was a lot less for boxes, and they have pickup boxes around, you know, so you could drop your little box into their pickup area. So
Sure.
worth checking out. I'm just forgetting the name right now, GEO or something like that, or I don't know, maybe you guys know of it. But yeah, so.
By the way, I'm a percussionist and a drummer my whole life. So,
Well,
yeah.
you need to buy a couple of my shakers.
I probably do. I don't play as much as I used to, but last thing I bought was
Don't play more because they're that good.
Yeah, I got to check them out, definitely. You know what? I have not used those boxes at the post office because I find that they could be $2, $3, $4 more. And I always wanted to give my buyer the best deal, and now I want to give myself best deal since I am charging for shipping. But a lot of people use them because they are free. You can go on the post office website and order whatever you want, and they send it to you for free. There's boxes, there's mailers, there's, you know, there's a lot of things. But they go by what zone you're in, you know, or sometimes it's ship it anywhere for just this price, you know. I just personally haven't done that, so it may be the best for you. Again, I like going on pirate ship and doing it, but it is extra work. It is extra work. Now, if you are selling things and yet you're using those boxes and it's costing $7 and people are still buying from you, well, then keep using it, you know? But I always wonder, what is the buyer thinking when they see it's $5, it's $7, it's $11 to ship this? Does that turn them off? And they're going to try to find that item or that object somewhere else on Mercari for free shipping. A lot of people do free shipping. So.
Thank you for mentioning that. A lot of times I'll just put a flat rate of shipping, for example, of $5 flat rate, and I'll eat the two something, but I don't discount the products. I just make sure that I'm getting about what I want, you know. And nowadays, I think we're all willing to make a little bit more of a sacrifice to keep things going for those of us who are in industries that are suppressed by this stuff. So.
Yeah, exactly. I hear what you're saying, and I just, again, I don't want to cheat anybody, but I don't want to screw myself either. And if you let a lot of those go where, oh, I could have done that on pirate ship for a couple dollars less, after a while, you know, it all adds up. And did I spend a couple $100 extra this year because I offered free shipping? I could see that's the direction it was going in, and that I'd be losing money. So, yeah. That's it. Nothing's for free anymore unless it's $100 or over. For
on
me.
Pirate Ship, is it just pirateship.com?
Yeah.
And
it's
you
really easy.
you get it down just like UPS or whatever.
Yeah. And
I have an account with UPS and I get a preferred rate. One thing about shipping with UPS, you guys all need to know this. You can look up UPS code, discount code, the day you're going to ship something. I've gotten $3 to $5 off sometimes because they have discounts that I didn't know about as a customer of theirs. And it really was, I was really quite pleased to find out that there are codes that you can use. So if you are using things like that, you may want to just do a quick check and see if they have a discount code that day. It's worth,
that's cool.
Yeah, it's worth a second or two. It caught me off guard, and I do it every time now, and it makes things a lot better.
And that's if you have an account with them, right?
No, I think, well, I'm surprised that they actually gave me the discounts because I do have an account, so I get a discounted rate anyway. But no, you just look up on UPS discount code, plug it into the, do you have a code button, and you say, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll have to thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I didn't know about that at all. And I'm using UPS mostly now when things are over a pound because they're $1 or $2 cheaper than the post office. So yeah. Anybody else? Chuck?
So how does Macari pay you? Is it the money goes directly into your checking account? And how long do they hold the money before you get it? Do they?
They're a little different than eBay in those that I guess you get paid pretty quickly and directly. They have a thing there. You have to ship the item within 3 days of the buyer buying. Then once the buyer receives the item, they have 3 days to rate you. When they rate you, cha-ching, you are paid. And if they don't rate you in 3 days, Macari rates you automatically. So for some people, that's tough when they just need money like right away. But I love it, man. And a lot of those kids leave all that money on the Macari site. Very bad thing. You don't do that. First of all, you're going to spend it on things you shouldn't be spending. I don't need any more junk. I sell junk. Okay. So, you know, I don't spend it like that. I just, if it's 40, 50 bucks, that's it. I transfer it automatically into my account. So if you're selling at a steady pace, you shouldn't really be suffering too much. Although there's days go by where I sell nothing. So that does happen too. Did that answer your question? Okay, cool. Right on. That's about it, you know? I mean, I don't see why everybody doesn't do it. This is, you know, I understand you may have no affinity for it, don't want to do that. But it's so easy to source things at Goodwill. You've paid $2 for something at Goodwill and you're going to sell it for $15, $20. You're going to make some money doing that. Unfortunately, like I said earlier, Goodwill has gotten very hip to things that are hot. They've got people working for them now, and things are not as cheap there as they used to be. But other thrift shops exist, and there's tons of them here in Las Vegas. I still like the thrill of the search and looking for the treasures. Like we said, one man's junk is another man's treasure. Yeah, I absolutely love that. But I have such a good deal going right now with this one lady. She'll probably never run out of stuff to give me. And if I ever move back to San Diego, when I move back to San Diego, I would come out here to get stuff from her every few months, you know. But she gave me so much stuff, and you gotta have a garage. You gotta have somewhere to put all your merchandise. There's that too. We've bought shelving. We made it a business, you know. So that's what it is for me.
So it is 12:55, but I just had one more thought. Have you considered marketing yourself as a Macari consultant to help other people get going and show them some of the how to get started things? Because there are people that do that for Amazon. I'm just curious,
Right.
Are there people that do that? Are there Macari
on YouTube? You know, YouTube. I think it's all pretty much on YouTube because everybody makes their videos. Some people make videos that shouldn't be making videos. They're too annoying to listen to. But that is the way they would do it. But I do love talking to people, and I love, you know, I had a couple of different podcasts and things like that. But no, I haven't really thought about doing that. It's possible that I may in the future, you know.
Well, for anyone that's watching this live or watches a recording, would you want to give out your email or something so
Sure.
people can know how to get a hold of you?
Yeah. Let me type it in here, right?
Yeah, and then if someone's watching this video may end up on YouTube. We can just read it off so people know how to get a hold of you, and who knows, maybe it could lead to a consulting gig for you.
Never know. There it is. Merciless68@gmail.com.
I didn't see that pop up.
Yeah.
Did you send it to the group?
Nope. I guess it went to Craig. I don't know
Gone
why
in a
it went there.
private message.
Oh,
Yes.
how did I do that? See, I don't even know how.
So
Let's see.
click where it says to
Everyone.
everyone. Yeah.
Everyone. There we go.
All right. So we have 2 minutes. Any other last minute questions for Mercy before we wrap up? I still don't see your email on there. Let's see.
Here it comes.
Okay. merciless68@gmail.com. I want to thank everyone for jumping on the call, and I really appreciate it. It was good to see each and every one of you, and I hope you all have a good week and hope to see you again soon.
Yeah, yeah. Bye, everybody.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Chuck.
Thank you. Thank you, Thalia. Take care, y'all.
Bye. See y'all next week.
Bye-bye.
Yep.